There is something you emit right now, invisible, inaudible, uninterrupted, and the world responds to it. It is not a spiritual metaphor. It is electromagnetic physics. Your brain and heart emit measurable fields. These fields carry information. This information is read by the surrounding environment, by other beings, by space. And the quality of that field, your predominant frequency, is determined by a single thing: what you feel. Not what you think, not what you say. What you truly, deeply, habitually feel. This is mental frequency, and it is the most powerful signal you transmit to the universe at every moment. Not once a day during meditation or prayer, every fraction of a second of your conscious existence. This teaching has roots in Hermes, in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, in shamanic traditions across the planet. And today it has scientific confirmation from multiple independent disciplines. It is not faith. It is measurable data. This episode is about the link between emotion, energy, and reality, and about what you can do with it. Not as a vague promise of prosperity, as the precise mechanics of how consciousness interacts with the field. You are always transmitting. The question is, what are you transmitting, and where is it taking you? To answer this, we must begin with what neuroscience has discovered about the emotional brain, and with what the HeartMath Institute discovered about the electromagnetic field of the heart, the body's largest, and with what quantum physics suggests about how fields of consciousness interact with the quantum field. Because the answer that emerges from these three sources, neuroscience, physics, and ancient wisdom, is the same. And it is an answer that completely transforms the way you understand suffering, abundance, and destiny. Because if mental frequency determines experience, then suffering indefinitely is not inevitable, and abundance is not luck. It is the natural state of a mind in coherence with the laws of the field. Before going deeper, we need to define precisely what mental frequency is. It is not mood. Mood is the weather of the day. Mental frequency is the weather of the year. It is your predominant state, your deep pattern. It is what is there when no one is watching. The background tone of your consciousness at any ordinary moment. This background frequency is the signal the universe receives, not your conscious Sunday thoughts. And this is exactly what makes the subject at once so powerful and so demanding. The work runs deep, not superficial, not spiritual performance. Real work on the deepest emotional patterns. The human heart generates the body's most powerful electromagnetic field, 5,000 times stronger than the brain. This field extends 1 to 3 meters around the body. It is measurable with precise equipment. The HeartMath Institute, founded in 1991, dedicated decades to measuring how emotional state affects this field. When a person experiences genuine states of gratitude, love, or appreciation, the heart's field becomes ordered. Heart rate variability becomes coherent. The waveform becomes harmonic. The frequency stabilizes. And this coherent field has documented effects. It reduces cortisol, increases DHEA, activates immunity genes, and it measurably influences the nervous systems of people physically nearby. The field propagates. When a mother in a state of coherent love holds her baby, the baby's nervous system synchronizes with hers. This is not metaphor. It is electromagnetic synchronization documented in the laboratory. Love is physics. In states of chronic stress, fear, or anger, the heart's field fragments. It becomes chaotic. And this chaotic field has inverse effects. It increases inflammation, suppresses immunity, disturbs cognition. The chronic emotional state literally regulates physiology. Not metaphorically, literally. This is psychoneuroimmunology, the scientific field studying how mind, nervous system, and immunity are one. Candace Pert, NIH neuroscientist, demonstrated that emotions have a molecular substrate. They are information molecules. Neuropeptide receptors are throughout the body, not just in the brain. The whole body feels. The gut has more neurons than the spinal cord. The heart has neurons. The body thinks and feels everywhere. Emotion is not something that happens in the head. It is a vibration of the entire organism. a field of information, and this field of information extends beyond the body. It interacts with the electromagnetic field of the environment. Have you ever walked into a room right after a violent argument and felt the tension in the air? That is physics. The air particles, the surfaces of the room, the local electromagnetic field, all retain the emotional frequency. This is not mysticism. It is what electromagnetic field physics and biophoton research confirm. Biophotons, photons of light emitted by living cells, carry information about the state of the organism. In states of high emotional coherence, biophotons organize. In states of fear or depression, they fragment. Your emotional state is literally changing the quality of light your cells emit every instant. And the light, the information you emit, is received by the cells of other organisms around you. Plants grow better in environments with people in coherent emotional states. This has been measured. Animals respond to the emotional frequency of humans before any behavioral signal. Babies respond to emotional frequency, not words, not tone of voice. The real frequency. This is why lying to a baby is useless. The baby does not read words. It reads the field. Frequency does not lie. Now let's go to the deepest layer. How does mental frequency affect reality beyond the immediate body? Quantum mechanics established that the observer affects the observed. But who is the real observer? Not the intellectual mind that formulates thoughts, the emotional being that carries the predominant frequency. Because emotional frequency is more consistent, more energized, and more penetrating than conscious thought. A thought lasts seconds, a chronic emotion lasts years. The quantum field responds to what is most persistent. This is why positive affirmations with a negative emotional background rarely work. The field reads what is underneath. The field does not read what you want to be true. It reads what you believe with emotion to be true. This is the distinction that separates a superficial understanding of the law of attraction from its real mechanics. Hermes Trismegistus described this 2,000 years ago. As within, so without. As above, so below. The Upanishads taught, what you are, not what you think you are, but what you are, that is what you attract. The Sufis called it hal, the state. Not the thought, not the desire, not the intention. The state, the frequency. Siberian shamans called it personal power. Buddhists called it sankhara, emotional conditionings. Cultures without historical contact among themselves developed the same teaching. This is evidence of something real. And now neuroscience, physics, and biology arrive at the same conclusion through completely different paths. But here is the point most deeply hidden, or simply neglected, from collective consciousness. Emotions are not reactions to what happens. They are filters that determine what is possible to happen. They are not consequences. They are premises. The difference is absolute and has implications that change everything. Most people treat emotions like meteorology, something that happens to them, that comes from outside. But emotions are generated internally, by thought patterns, beliefs, activated memories, and because they are generated internally, they can be transformed internally, without waiting for the world to change, not by repression, not by performance, by real understanding of the roots of emotion and genuine work. The second hidden point. Chronic low-frequency emotions are addictive, literally. Dr. Joe Dispenza documents this extensively. The chemistry of stress creates physiological dependency. When the person tries to leave the pattern of fear or anger, the body literally goes into withdrawal. It misses the drama, it misses the anxiety, because the body has habituated its receptors to the low-state chemistry. This explains why people who say they want to change continue in the same patterns for decades, not because they are weak, because the body has a biochemistry of the familiar stronger than conscious intention. Changing mental frequency therefore requires an intervention at the physiological level, not merely mental. Third hidden point, mental frequency directly affects DNA expression. Epigenetics. Dr. Bruce Lipton demonstrated, the environment, including the internal emotional environment, regulates genes. You are not a prisoner of your DNA. You are the conductor of your genetic expression. The key is emotion. States of chronic fear activate genes for inflammation, immune suppression, accelerated aging. States of love, gratitude, and peace activate genes for regeneration, longevity, and immunological resilience. Your emotion today is literally writing the biology of tomorrow, not metaphorically, chemically. Fourth point, mental frequency affects the quantum field, the sea of possibilities from which reality emerges. The quantum field is a field of potentiality. All possible realities exist in it in superposition. The frequency you maintain determines which possibilities resonate with you, and therefore become probable. Not that you manifest through desire, that you resonate with what already exists as possibility in the field. It is the difference between a magnet and an oven. You do not create what you attract. You resonate with what is already there, and what is already there, what resonates with your frequency, begins to appear with greater frequency in your life, not by magic, by the principle of resonance. The same principle that makes one tuning fork vibrate another. Two tuning forks tune to the same frequency. One vibrates, the other responds. Without physical contact, without effort. Your emotional frequency is your tuning fork. The quantum field is the second tuning fork. Resonance is the law. Fifth point, cardiac coherence, sustained high-frequency state, has effects that transcend the body. The HeartMath Institute measured that people in cardiac coherence affect the EEGs of nearby people. That the coherent cardiac field of an individual can be measured in another person's EEG meters away. That groups of people in simultaneous coherence create a collective field with documented effects on the environment. The Global Consciousness Project at Princeton University documents this with random event generators. During events of intense collective emotion, wars, catastrophes, celebrations, the generators change their pattern. This suggests that collective mental frequency affects the very physical substrate of reality, a global field. You are not alone in your frequency. You are immersed in a collective field that amplifies or suppresses it. The family field, the city field, the cultural field, the planetary field, all influence your frequency, and you influence all of them. To a lesser degree, but to a real degree. Your personal frequency matters planetarily. This is responsibility, the most fundamental that exists, the quality of consciousness you carry, not as guilt, as opportunity. Each elevation of personal frequency is a contribution to the global field. And the global field, when it raises its average frequency, retroactively facilitates individual elevation. We have arrived at the central revelation, the exact mechanics of how mental frequency creates lived experience. Step 1. Emotional frequency determines what the brain's reticular activating system perceives. The RAS, reticular activating system, filters 99.9% of the information reaching the senses. It lets 0.1% through. What passes through is what is consistent with the predominant frequency. The rest is literally invisible. So the person at scarcity frequency literally does not see the opportunities around them. It is not carelessness. It is a neurological filter. The frequency of scarcity filters out opportunities before they reach consciousness. The person at abundance frequency sees opportunities in the same environment where the other sees only obstacles. Same environment, same objective reality, completely different experiences. Frequency is the filter. Step 2. Emotional frequency determines unconscious behavior, which determines results. The person in chronic fear unconsciously pushes away what they fear, through subtle behaviors they do not notice. The person in genuine gratitude unconsciously acts in ways that attract more reasons for gratitude. It is not destiny, it is a feedback loop. Frequency generates behavior. Behavior generates result. Result confirms frequency. Step 3. Emotional frequency, as we have seen, affects the electromagnetic field and resonates with the quantum field. And the quantum field, resonating with the frequency, increases the probability of corresponding events. The three mechanisms operate simultaneously and reinforce each other. It is an integrated and powerful system. and this system operates independently of your conscious will, unless you make it conscious. Making this system conscious, that is the work. And the work has concrete and verifiable tools. The first tool, observation without judgment of the background emotional state. What is really there, not what should be there, not what you want to be there. What is actually present as frequency. The second tool, trace the origin of the low-frequency emotional pattern. When did it start? Why? Chronic emotions have roots in beliefs about the world, and those beliefs were acquired. They are not truths. The third tool, somatic work, changing frequency through the body, not the head. The body carries the frequency. Breathing changes biochemistry. Movement releases fixed patterns. Touch heals. The fourth tool, deliberate practice of high-frequency emotional states. Not performance, cultivation, genuine gratitude, love without a specific object, admiration for existence itself. These states have identifiable frequencies. How does this apply in life today? In a more concrete and immediate way than any scientific abstraction. When you wake up and the first state is anxiety, that is not inevitable. It is a pattern that can be interrupted. Before picking up the phone, before checking the news, 30 seconds of observing the current frequency, not to judge it, to see it. The seeing is already the beginning of transformation. Observation changes the observed. When entering a difficult conversation, the frequency you bring determines what is possible in that conversation, not what you are going to say. The frequency you carry while saying it. These are completely different things. The same truth spoken from a frequency of fear closes. The same truth spoken from a frequency of love opens. When facing a difficulty, the frequency with which you approach it determines which resources you can access. Fear contracts perception. Curiosity expands it. The problem is the same. The access to the solution is radically different. When making an important decision, the emotional state in which you decide determines the quality of the decision. Decisions made from fear tend to confirm fear. Decisions made from clarity tend to generate more clarity. This is not fatalist determinism. It is causality. And causality can be worked in your favor. The daily practice is not to reach some state of permanent enlightenment. It is to interrupt the patterns. Notice when you fall into the frequency of fear. Pause, breathe, choose differently. That simple, that radical. Breathing is the most immediate tool. It directly alters the autonomic nervous system in seconds. 6 breaths per minute, the coherence rate, is the rhythm at which heart and brain synchronize. No need to meditate for hours. 6 conscious breaths. The field changes, the frequency changes, the state changes. Genuine gratitude, not performative, but felt in the body, is perhaps the most powerful available frequency. Not gratitude for the idea that you should be grateful. Felt gratitude for the breath, the light, the moment. This frequency, when genuinely inhabited for minutes, changes biochemistry, the cardiac field and perception. The Pythagorean practice of mathematical admiration was this, using beauty to elevate frequency. It works. Full presence meditation is this, removing the activation of fear and allowing the base state to emerge. Love, genuine connection, service are also portals. Any state that expands and opens elevates frequency. The secret of mental frequency is not a manifestation trick. It is an ontological responsibility. Ontological because it concerns being, what you are, not what you do or have. Being radiates before doing. The field precedes action. Frequency precedes result. Always. And so the most important work is not external, not what you conquer or accumulate. It is the quality of consciousness you bring to each moment, to each conversation, to each choice. This does not exclude action. Action is necessary. But action arising from high frequency has different power. A word spoken from love reaches what 1,000 words spoken from fear would never reach. Frequency is potency. And living from this understanding is not easy. It requires brutal honesty about what one truly feels. It requires willingness to feel what is there, even what is uncomfortable, without fleeing into activity. It requires patience with the process. Emotional patterns of decades do not transform in a weekend, and it requires compassion, especially toward oneself. Self-condemnation is the lowest available frequency, because condemning one's own low frequency is an even more intense low frequency. The antidote does not condemn. The antidote recognizes, understands, and gently guides toward the frequency that serves best. Simple, difficult. The highest mental frequency is not performative enthusiasm. It is peace. Deep peace as the foundation of everything. From deep peace emerges genuine joy. From joy, gratitude. From gratitude, love. From love, everything. Not as states you must force, as states that emerge naturally when the low frequency is removed. You already are the frequency you seek. The work is to remove what covers it. It has always been this way. It always will be. And every moment you elevate your frequency, the entire universe vibrates a little differently. With you.